Assalamu alaikum. Peace be unto you. Shalom, Hotep. Peace, family. I'm your brother in the struggle for peace, truth, freedom, justice, and equality, as well as reality. Brother Minister Ali for Law. Beloved, today we're going to pick up where we left off on the elaboration of the 99 actual facts. The last one was number 12. We're going to backtrack to number 12 because I made a few other videos, did some other stuff in between there, and I just want to refresh your memory on these lesson blessings. Okay, so number 12. This is 99 Actual Facts by Prophet W.D. Fard. We're going to cover numbers 12 to 19. This is part number 7. So I'm going to read from the lesson from Prophet W.D. Fard back in 1933. Then I'm going to read from my own book, Elaboration of the Lost Lessons, that I wrote back in 1984. Okay, so we're going to get into these lesson blessings here. All right. Even though we covered the moon already, I did a little dissertation on that freestyle. I'm gonna make another freestyle little dissertation on the moon just to bring us back up to par, if you will. Number 12, the moon is 66 trillion years old. I'm gonna take this opportunity to explain to those that know and those that don't know and those that may misunderstand. You see the Supreme Angel's seal with 2 moons on it. Now, it's a lot of misinformation out there, a lot of misinterpretation, misunderstanding, mistransliteration, spooky stuff, pseudo stuff. I mean, let me give you the actual facts on this seal. Short version. We got a whole book on the science of our seal that I did years ago that addressed all that. However, first, let me clarify. This is not our flag. We only have one flag, the flag of Islam. The universal flag of Islam is by Prophet W.D. Fard, who I declare, and those that believe as the messenger believes, we declare is from Almighty God, Allah, in the person of Master Muhammad. All right, the sun, moon, and star. Now, those of you that are students of Scripture, you know, the Bible, Quran, Torah, what have you, you know that God taught the followers of Moses, who we believe is a prototype of Messenger Elijah Muhammad, for them to make a seal. He explained that this is the type of seal I want y'all to make. I want y'all to take some black onyx stones and lay it into some gold. And I want y'all to use that as a seal in the mental resurrection of the people. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad, in his last book, The Flag of Islam, he explained to us, look it up for yourself, the chapter on the star. He explained to us that we have stars, not just with 5 points, but we have stars with 8 points, even 16 points. He explained the more points we add to the star, it increases the power of that authority. Many people think that this is the same flag as Sham God of the nation of gods and earth, or the 5 percenters. We love and respect the nation of gods and earth. We don't disrespect that flag. I mean, we believe in the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, but we have love and respect for Father Allah. I mean, I have no problem whatsoever about him teaching that he's a law. He's a black man. No problem for me with that. Know what I mean? You know, when it comes to the 8-pointed seal, this 8-pointed seal was used by black, brown, yellow, red, and white people before Sham God was born. Physically, it was used over 100 years ago. over 1,000 years ago. It was used thousands of years ago. It's the direction of the planet Earth. It's the compass. If you look at ancient pictures of the compass from the 1600s, you look at ancient Islamic seals from thousands of years ago, ancient Kemetic or Egyptian seals from the Babylonian, the Anunnaki, China, India. It's like it's the Asiatic black man been using the seal family way before me, way before Shamgar. It was used thousands of years before us. And we cover that science inside the book, The Science of Our Seal. In fact, inshallah, Sakeen, if I remember it, I'm going to try to get that posted on the website at noireport.online for those of you that's not familiar with that book. I mean, however, we use the two moons on here because the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that the moon that Master Muhammad gave us, the crescent on the right, this symbolizes the new Islam. In Arabic, the new Islam is Al-Jadi Islam. The moon on the left side represents the Orthodox Islam, or this was used by, say, the country of Turkey and before the Turks, for example. Now, I mean, it represents the old Islam or Orthodox Islam. The five-pointed star represents justice. The distance between each star is exactly 72 degrees. 5 times 72 equals 360 degrees. The cipher of the moons from here to here is exactly 180 degrees. 180 degrees and 180 degrees equals exactly 360 degrees. The same with the points of the star, fam. It's the compass that's used for the circumference of our planet, covering 24,896 miles. Islam is mathematics, and mathematics is Islam. Now, I mean, so the Holy Quran teaches us about Al-Shams, the sun, Al-Badr or Qamar, the moon or the crescent, as well as Al-Najm, the star. There are chapters on the sun, moon, and stars. Those of you that love your Bible, the book of Revelations, it teaches about in the hereafter, there will be no need for a sun, moon, and star. So we know the science of the actual sun, the actual moon, the actual star. In these elaborations, we're teaching. Look what we're teaching in the 30s. Keep in mind, in the 30s, we're saying the 5% is the poor righteous teachers. That's Master Muhammad's teachings. We didn't steal that from the. We got that from Allah, who came to person Master Muhammad, and his first, last, and only messenger, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. He was teaching 238 quintillion, 640 quadrillion miles is the circumference of our universe. Number two, 76 quintillion miles is the diameter of our universe. It is also the extent of which the sun's rays reach in the universe. 38 quintillion miles is the radius of our universe. Think that over. 38 quintillion miles is the radius of our universe. 38 quintillion times 2 equals what? 76 quintillion miles. Once you know the diameter of thing, you could multiply that by pi 3.14 and you get what? The circumference of our universe, 230 quintillion, 640 quadrillion miles. Islam is mathematics. Mathematics is Islam, family. We're not making this stuff up. The messenger teaches us if a person teaches a thing which he or she does not know, they could be charged with lying to the people. You see? Many people play around with this. I don't play with this. See what I'm saying? So, in 1984, we had our flag, we had the regular Nation of Islam, our flag, the sun, moon, and star. Not this. This isn't our flag. It was so much controversy back in the 80s when they start seeing the two moons. I had it on, shout out to the Supreme Angels from the fort. They, as a special gift without my knowledge, they made me a beautiful FY custom-made uniform. But the brother Yusuf, Josie Wells, he made me a crack fez. I was trying to figure out what he was talking about. He's like, nah, bro, man, I want to make you a hat. It's like, make me a hat. I don't really wear hats. I mean, my head too big. Like some people look crack with baseball caps. I'm old school. Like when I was coming up, I wore Kanglos. I wear like bucket hats or whatever. But like gangster brims, Vaseline, none of that really looked right on my head. You know what I mean? So it'd be cold in the mug. I'd rather put a knit hat on than have on a fedora or something of that nature there. I mean, that's just my style. But I entertained my brother, let him go ahead and do his thing. But he made me a beautiful fez. And at the Sabres Day event, I came in with the fez, the uniform on that the brothers made for me. And the message teaches actions are judged by intentions. Actions may appear wrong, but motives bring rewards. That's from 17 Ways for the Islamic Culture. And we got that video. We got that old black and white video. And on the video, while I'm speaking, I instinctively and intuitively took the fez off. The reason I took the fez off is because, one, I didn't feel worthy. Two, I'm not trying to be the messenger of Allah. I'm not the messenger of Allah. I'm a follower of the messenger's message in this age of mess. We only got one first, last, and only messenger, the Most High Elijah Muhammad. Now, I mean, so personally, my thing was like on the tip, like, okay. Now, I mean, I definitely appreciate the gods, I mean, and respect that niyat and, honored it. And we had a beautiful sermon that day. You know what I mean? But when I took the fez off, I shipped it to Brother Minister Mateen because I didn't even really want to keep it. Now, I mean, I didn't want to destroy it or not. It was a beautiful fez. But Supreme Angel Mateen got it. He never wore it or nothing. But I don't know what that was like. What was that? That was like back around 30 years ago, something, family. I mean, it was like 30 years ago that happened. Now, I mean, I'm going to dig those videos out and try to find a clip or something to show us with the fez that the brothers made back then. Now, I mean, so our moon is significant to me. Now, I mean, I respect the African nations that had a moon in their flag, the red background of Russia, they got that sickle structured as a crescent with the star. China has that star structured as a star crescent. Turkey has that. Now, I mean, it's real similar to the Nation of Islam. But we're not saying Master Muhammad biting off of China or Russia or the Turks. I mean, it's all one and the same. We're the Asiatic black man, the maker, the owner, the cream of the planet Earth, God of the universe. Wherever we put our Taj, which is the Arabic name for fez down, like shout out to the God 19 Keys. They make crack little banners with the star crescents for the youth and giving them a sense of consciousness because now they may not even be registered FOI MGT, but they studying the truth. They getting consciousness. They waking up. Know what I mean? So our actions are judged by intentions. Know what I mean? So the message teaches us your brother's success is your success. So I don't have no problem with nothing like that. Now, I mean, I ain't got no problem seeing the gods. I used to love seeing, I used to be seeing some crack crowns back, see, when I never in my life been a member of the Nation of Gods and Earth. I never in my life been a 5%er under Clans 13X father-in-law. I never in my life been a Sunni. I never in my life been a Christian. I never in my life been an atheist. None of that. Now, I mean, as far as spiritual teachings, I learned theology from the teachers of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. But in that awakening, I grew to understand and love all spiritual systems, especially from the Honorable Brother Minister Louis Farrakhan back in the 80s and 90s. He was uniting, like, it wasn't no bunch of beasts like it is nowadays. You know what I mean? Like, you definitely had intellectual challenges. I mean, because you better come raw or go home. I mean, like, you 5%er. You come in that cipher, you better know your lesson. You better know your 120, as they put it. Now, I mean, I used to see brothers physically get a universal beat down playing around with them lessons. Now, I mean, so we literally used to strip people of the lessons and make them walk every step of the way. So brothers didn't play around with lessons. In the Nation of Islam, 5%ers, more Science Temple, the back then you had the Ansar community, Imam Isa, they was teaching hard back then. You had the crack followers of Imam Warfdeen Muhammad. Them brothers knew the Quran and Torah and Hadiths, I mean, and everybody knew you play around with somebody's faith or disrespect them, ugly, ugly, ugly scene on you. I mean, unlike, see, we're in the age of social media, people just beef online, and I mean, see, in the Bella Beast, they call that cell gangsters. Like you locked in a cell, this person locked in a cell, y'all in the hole, and he, what are you going to do this? And he, it's like, yo, Allah does not like the barking of a dog, the braying of an ass, the squealing of a pig, nor the hissing of a snake. Those that say don't do. Those that do don't say. Like, yo, shut up. Handle your business. Simple. Like, you see them, handle your business. I mean, like, ain't no questions. Like, what would you? No, move out. That's how we was moving. Anybody that was there know exactly what I'm talking about. I mean, so we don't play with the teachers of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I mean, that'll get you hellfire. I mean, it's like literally, so no, we don't, so the message teaches us in our lesson 17 ways for the Islamic culture, about our niyat or our actions being judged by intention. And at the same time, he teaches us, do not look on the bad side of a thing that appears to us as being bad. It's always a good side. It's better to take that side. So we try to give our brother not the benefit of the doubt, but the benefit of the truth. So we're gonna move on from the 99 actual facts, number 12 on that moon. We're now going to go to number 13. Okay, 99 actual fact, number 13. Sunlight must travel through 3 spheres before reaching Earth. In the elaboration, as well as in the actual fact, this lesson comes with, I just got these 2 pages because I took it out the lesson book, but it covers the whole 99. The actual lesson has 99 actual facts, and it has a separate section known as the actual factors. In the actual factors, Master Muhammad teaches us about these spheres, what have you. I covered them in the elaboration of Allah's lessons. This is the elaboration of the major lessons. This book covers Lost Found Muslim lesson number 1, Lost Found Muslim lesson number 2, and the 99 actual facts. I wrote a separate book called Elaboration of the Nation's Lessons that covers the minor lessons, the smaller lessons. Still important, but they're not the major lessons or the big lessons like the 99, number 1, and number 2. So number 13 explains that sunlight must travel through 3 spheres before reaching Earth. The troposphere extends 6 to 10 miles from the Earth's surface. The stratosphere extends outward from the troposphere to circa 50 miles from the Earth's surface. The ionosphere extends outward from the stratosphere to the limits of the atmosphere, and there is no practical limit that needs to be extracted. See the Holy Quran, chapter 5, verse 101 to 103. Actual fact number 14. The sun is 93 million miles away from the Earth. In the elaboration, we explain this equal to 100 150 kilometers. Basically, we just convert the miles to kilometers. So we could say the sun is 93 million miles away from the planet Earth. Light travels 186,000 miles per second. Since we're saying the sun is 93 million miles away from the planet Earth, we could convert those miles to the kilometers and say it's the same thing, just stated in a different way. 93 million miles equals 150 million kilometers. So we say the sunlight that comes to us is a mathematical equation according to Allah God who came to the person of Master Muhammad through his messenger, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. You always hear me say hundreds of times over 40 years, the sun is 93 million miles away from the planet Earth. The circumference of the planet Earth is 24,896 miles. So here you got a smaller ball that's 108 times smaller than this big sun over here that's 93 million miles away, or 150 million kilometers. And since light travels and rides of light, these photons travel to the Earth at the speed of 186,000 miles per second, and the sun is 93 million miles away. It takes 8 minutes and 20 seconds. If you calculate it, 8 minutes and 20 seconds is exactly 500 seconds for this light from this sun to hit you on Earth to activate the melanin in your body, which is your skin, or the largest organ on the human body. It's nothing spooky. It's all mathematics. '99 actual fact number 15. The planet Mercury is 36 million miles from the sun. Now, Mercury is a misunderstood planet. The message teaches us Mercury is a symbol or a sign of the messenger of Allah, because if you look at Mercury's present position and condition, Mercury is a little tiny planet that's right there caught up inside the rotation and power and the light of the sun. So it is with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the son of Islam, Master Farad Muhammad. Now, Mercury, in this video, I already covered some science on Mercury that I'm not going to repeat here, but I just want to give you the swiftness of Mercury, because you know the planet Mercury is moving faster than people realize. All right. Mercury, this is from the elaboration of the 99 Actual Facts, page number 39. She takes 88 days to cipher the sun, equal to 2,112 hours, or 126,720 minutes, or 603,200 seconds. Her radius equals 1,500 miles. If we doubled her radius, we get her diameter of 1,500 multiplied by 2 equals 3,000. Thus, her diameter is 3,000 miles. If we multiply her diameter by pi, 3.14, we get 3,000 multiplied by 3.1415926,535 equals 9,424.7,778. I don't want to get too mathematical on y'all. That part is not even that important. We just want y'all to understand that Islam is mathematics and mathematics is Islam. And it's like going fishing. You could go fishing in a little small creek and catch some fish, or you could dive into the Marina Trench and go deep in the waters of life and see life forms and see things and learn things that you had no knowledge even existed. All praises due to Allah. Okay, we now going to go into this 99 actual fact, number 16, fam. The planet Venus is 67,200,000 miles from the sun. Now, we have the physical planet Venus. You want to be mindful that when it comes to the science of astronomy, many names overlap, many names are interchanged. You got to be mindful that if you're living, say, in ancient, say, Babylon or Iraq or ancient Persia, Iran, or ancient Kemet, Egypt, or say you was living in Australia, or you was in the wilderness of North America, or you was in China or India, these astronomers are all looking at the same phenomena. They're looking, when they go outside at nighttime, they don't have all this light pollution like we got today. We got electric studio lights and all this stuff in this day and time. Back then, you know, you didn't have all them bright lights. You know what I mean? Imagine for a moment. Imagine you're in Africa somewhere. Say you're on the west coast of Africa and you got a fire burning, you know, you're sitting around and you're listening to the scholars or the elders or people teaching you about the culture and the history and the universe, and they're teaching you that spiritual sciences. You know what I mean? Not that mythology is wrong. Mythology is always rooted in reality. It's just that people learn through stories. Like, you know, like they got to put it in a simple way that's easy to pass on, to pass down. But if we're speaking Kiswahili and somebody else speaking Chinese and somebody speaking Arabic and somebody speaking Hebrew, somebody else speaking Greek or English in this day and time, and we're all looking at something and we're writing about something, we'd be like, oh, in our culture, we call that this. And, you know, somebody may take that information and travel and teach it to another culture in a different area that has a different language or a different dialect, and they be like, oh, we call it this. I mean, but it get lost in translation. So that, you know, so the names, don't get confused about names. A lot of people get spooky when it comes to astronomy, and they transform astronomy into astrology. We consider astrology a pseudoscience. So people be like, we're in the age of Aquarius. I mean, they be like, oh, Leaf, you was born January 29th. You're an Aquarius. I'm not an Aquarius. It's kind of pseudoscience. I mean, you know, people that study astronomy be like, nah, I don't prescribe to none. I don't read tea leaves. I don't, you know, cross my fingers for good luck. I don't believe that the positions of the planets and the stars on a particular is going to physically affect my life in a 24-hour day, or as our lessons teach us in the 99 actual facts, in 23 hours, 56 minutes, and 46 seconds of a solar day, or 365 days, 5 hours, 48 minutes, and 46 seconds in a solar year. When you know the sciences of life, you know that is extreme nonsense. So your brain be like, cuckoo. No, I ain't work with none of that spooky stuff. Know what I mean? So you're not going to get me to believe that when I physically die, I'm going to live and all this other pseudo stuff. But mythology is always rooted in reality. So if someone was to be like, do you believe in life after death? Of course not. I mean, not in the way the Eurocentric concept and construct of it is defined. No, I don't believe a ghost or a spirit gonna float out my black body and come out my mouth like some type of smoke, like I've been smoking a blunt, and it's going to float up in the atmosphere, the troposphere, the stratosphere, the ionosphere, the exosphere, and go off and see my great-great-grandmom and my great-great-grandpa, and we're going to be talking like, yeah, remember we was on Earth alive, and, you know, I'm going to have some angel wings, or if I'm bad, I'm going to have some demons, I'm going to be burning in hell forever. All of that to me is extreme nonsense. No, I don't work with organized religion, whether you call it Christianity, Catholicism, Islam, Buddhism, Taoism, Hebrewism, what, Judaism, whatever. No, I'm not working with none of that. I'm not working with atheism. I mean, the atheists be like, oh, God does not exist. No, you missing the whole point. If you're an atheist, the issue isn't do you believe or disbelieve in God? Step one, elementary stuff. What is your definition of God? Now, we're getting somewhere. See, if you're saying you don't believe in a supernatural, anti-reality, magical magician somewhere on the clouds or somewhere beyond the sun, moon, and star, I'm with you 1,000,000,000%. True indeed. However, your intellect should tell you, like, wait a minute, we're human beings. So when we say God, we simply mean supreme being by definition. So when you say, well, do you believe in God? Not the word, but the definition. Do you believe in a supreme being? Now you're looking at something different. So you'd be like, okay, well, what do you mean by supreme being? Supreme means most highest. Being means to exist. Do you believe in a supreme existence? And it's like, oh, wait a minute, Alif, you got a good issue here. That's because, you know, you're talking to scientists. You're talking to people that study, you know, physics and logic and math and, you know what I mean, astronomy. They be like, well, there has to be some form of supreme being. Let's look at this. Okay, let's look at what we know, not what we believe. Let's look at what we can extract, what we know. We can look at the ancients. We can look at what we, you know, the what we observe, what we experience. And it's like, okay, at the end of the day, it boils down to, like, we're not talking about what people believe. Like, people believe that there's aliens on another planet. They came here. That's a belief. They could never, ever show and prove that in my lifetime. I say my lifetime because I'm saying they ain't show it yesterday. They ain't going to show it today. And I'm telling you, by plain, simple prophecy, they're not going to prove it tomorrow or next year or 10 years from now or 50 years from now. Duh, is you going to keep believing in that mystery God? I mean, but when we look at the universe, we're like, okay, well, the way this universe, from what we observe, it's like, okay, like, there may be colors that indicate what elements is on these planets. We can study them and observe and extract certain data from that stuff and deal with certain mathematics. I mean, but at the end of the day, it all comes back to what we know. There just simply is not no supreme existence greater than what we find on Earth. We don't see that on the moon. We don't see it on Mars. We don't see it in the stars. We don't see it in the sun. We don't see it in the atoms. We could take atomic mic. We don't see it in DNA or whatever. But we do see that everything is interrelated, that this energy, this substance that exists everywhere but is unseen and exists everywhere, we call it energy in science. Cool, that's a good definition, energy. We call energy in organized religion alcoholic, the creator, or God. In the Nation of Islam, we call energy the mind. We say, well, the light bulb is seen and the energy is unseen. The light bulb is limited. It's just a 60-watt light bulb, a 100-watt light bulb, a 25-watt light bulb. The energy is unseen. The energy is unknown. It's the X factor. It's infinite. It's absolute. But we would not know energy existed if it didn't come in the person of a light bulb. If it's not manifested through a conduit, we'd be like, how will we know energy exists? If God or the creator is not manifested through a human being, how will we know about energy or the creator or God or whatever nomenclature you want to use for the creator of all creation? We simply say the mind of man is infinite, capable of accomplishing anything that the brain can conceive. You see, the brain is like, yeah, we can analyze. You got neurologists be like, oh, we can take the brain out of a fetus. We could take the brain out of a baby, 7.5-ounce brain. We could take the brain out of a man that died on the highway in a car accident. He got a 3-pound brain. We weigh his brain. We know how many brain cells it is. I mean, like, we can see the physical, but we're conscious that these neurons or these brain cells has some type of electrical energy. It's like something is making them things communicate with each other. And that part is like a little deeper, you see? That's God. That's the mind of man, the mind of woman. That's the mind that is infinite. There is no mystery God because there is no mystery mind. It's just we didn't understand the mind. We didn't understand the soul or the breath. So when we see somebody take that last breath, we like, oh, once he took his last breath, he died. Oh, what if we can catch that last breath and put it in a jar and put a cork in it? Would they still be alive in the jar? No, because our concept is we're using linear thinking. We're not thinking holistically. Now, I mean, we're not thinking circular. We're not looking at it in the concept of, wait a minute, if the sun is made of hydrogen and helium, how is it made of hydrogen and helium? What is the causation? Like, why is hydrogen bonding with hydrogen and giving birth to helium? How is the math? Why is oxygen and hydrogen bonding to produce liquid water? Why is water vibrating where it could be a liquid or it could slow down and turn into an ice cube or it could speed up and turn into steam? How can it be physical but transform from the physical to the unseen, a steam? Or how can it slow down and go from the physical liquid into a solid iceberg or a chunk of ice? The universe is teaching us. Islam is mathematics and mathematics. When we study the universal order of things, we realize that, there is a supreme being, but the supreme being is not using hocus pocus. The supreme being is not some great Wizard of Oz. You see, the supreme being is the highest form of intelligence. And we simply cannot, we study life forms. Everything is alive, not some things. Everything's alive. Everything is dead. See, the law of duality is a collective law. It's like on this end of the spectrum, it's here, and on this end of the spectrum, it's here. So you don't have hot and cold water. It's just that the same water is vibrating, and it can vibrate where it's hot or cold. See, it's the same thing with life and death. It's like, no, we be like, we say that we was born on January the 29th, so I'm an Aquarius. But it's like, I was already alive in my mom. Like, remember when I was in my mom, you could feel me moving around. I mean, the baby kicking. Lisa's in there alive already. I mean, if my mom was to drink some liquor or smoke a cigarette, I'll be drinking liquor and smoking cigarettes in her womb. If my dad eating pork chops, I'll be eating pork chops in my father's testicles. You see? If You was to get a glass of water and you take and be like, oh, don't drink that. Let me see something. You take a drop of that water, put it on the microscope, and you magnify. You be like, oh, at least it's already alive in that drop of water. Why? The original man has no beginning nor ending. So when he physically dies, what happened? He goes right back into the atoms of the universe. So I believe in not a magical life after death. We believe in the mathematical transformation of atoms. It's nothing spooky, family. Get that spooky stuff out of y'all. Now I'm going to turn your attention to 99 actual fact, number 17. The diameter of Venus is 7,000 miles. Elaboration of the 99 actual facts. I'm not going to get into all the math and the longevity of it. I'll give you a principle that's in here that's important. All right. In fact, I'm not even going to need this. Let me give you. In fact, yeah, I'll give you a little math from it. Okay. Let's see. Okay. The black man. This is from the Elaboration of the Law's Lessons, page 40, published in 1984. The black man could not naturally live on another planet. For example, if we went to live next door on Venus, we would not let our skins roast under their sunlight. It gets 900 degrees Fahrenheit on the said planet. But we could master the said air with the power of the black brain. See, family, it's like Goldilocks. I mean, you know how to be like the poor is just too hot, too cold, then, one is just right. Earth is just like the most balanced planet for life in our solar system. However, Master Fard Muhammad teaches us there is nothing impossible, you see? So who can say or not say what can happen 1,000 years in the future, 10,000 years in the future? I personally, just studying the progress of the human family over the past, say, 6,000 years, it would not surprise me if 100 years from now, it'll be extremely common for human beings to live on other planets, including our moon. Like what may seem impossible in this day and time, like becomes common in the future. That's the power of the human brain. We figure it out. It's like, how do we get from point A to B? It's like we make a whole bunch of mistakes. But eventually, some child is going to be born and learn from our mistakes and be like, oh, see, that's the beauty of science. Science is never perfect. Science is full of mistakes. Believe me, I know I'll probably make countless mistakes. In the future, they'll look at it and be like, oh, he's also good. But that was elementary stuff 100 years in the future, you see? So going on Venus and the planet is super hot, it'll definitely melt me, kill me. But a human brain may come up with a way to cool the planet down, cool that atmosphere down, you see? They may move the planet and say, oh, it's too hot. Let's move it a little further out and make it a little cooler, you see? They may say, oh, well, let's alter human DNA where it doesn't burn. Or let's change let's terraform this planet and make it where we got pollution blocking out the sunlight and the heat, and it's cooling the planet down, where the planet that used to be boiling hot is now freezing cold, and now it's balancing out. These things are easy for human beings if we wasn't on Earth fighting over politics and resources and racism and sexism and classism and imperialism. We could show and prove that the human being is designed to master the entire universe, covering 238 quintillion, 640 quadrillion miles. '99 Actual Fact number 18 teaches us the circumference of Venus is 22,000 miles. The elaborations of the 99 Actual Fact number 18 teaches us circle circumference equals the approximate cipher. CC equals AC. Basically, family, when you hear the word circle basically means about. See, when you're dealing with mathematics, like we in America, if we say a million, we put 1, comma, 000, comma, 000. But actually, you don't supposed to use a comma. I mean, like somebody be like, what time is it? You'd be like, it's 4 o'clock. It's 4:30. All right, we leaving at 4:30. We're gonna leave at 4:35. It's 4:35. I leave. Let's go. I mean, it's not 4:35. It's circa or about 4:30. We can leave a little before 4:35, or we can leave a little after 4:35. But mathematically, we deal with circles in real mathematics. That's just the nature of our universe. When you hear us use the word cipher or circle basically represents 360 degrees. That 360 degrees could be squished like the earth and make it oblong, but it'd be 360 degrees. It could be a square that has a 90-degree corner. Now, I mean, like, say, for example, you take a rectangle. It's square here. It's 90 degrees. It's 90 degrees here. It's 90 degrees here. There are 90 degrees here. 90 degrees, 90 degrees, 90 degrees, 90 degrees. 4 times 90 equals 360 degrees. Our earth is round. The seed of life, the mother's egg, is round. The father's seed, the sperm cell, without the flag on the tail, is round. Your head is round. Your eyes are round. Your ears, your nose is round. Your mouth is round. Your ears are round. Your blood cells are round. The sun is round. The moon is round. The stars are round. The atoms are round. 360 degrees is the cipher of everything in the law's manifestation. We build in a cipher, not just on a cipher, because we are the cipher by nature, family. The black man is God. Okay, let's go to that 99 actual fact, number 19, family. The Earth weighs 6 sextillion tons, a unit followed by 21 ciphers. Remember, 1933, Master Muhammad was teaching on ciphers, okay? 40 years ago, when I wrote the Elaboration of the Lost Lessons, I explained this to the family about the Earth weighs 6 sextillion tons, a unit followed by 21 ciphers. And the Elaboration of Allah's Lessons, page number 40, published in 1984. You do the math behind me, all right? It says, space is 90% hydrogen and 10% helium. We actually have two belts of broken planets. One is between Pluto and the first stars. To clear the confusion of so many planets, Asia, the blue planet, is special because 66 trillion years ago, we had the water remain with us. Other planets were not so blessed. Our planet is the best of all. 1 cubic foot of common earth weighs 80 pounds. And 1 cubic foot of ocean salt water weighs 62.5 pounds. 12 inches equals 1 foot. 63,360 inches equals 1 mile. For 63,360 inches divided by 5,280 or 1 mile equates to 12. 63,360 multiplied by 63,360 inches equals 4,014,489,600 square inches in 1 square mile. 196,940,000 square miles equals all of Earth or Asia. Okay. I dropped a jewel on them in 1984. Let me see the math on that. Basically 6. 14 years before it happened. I told y'all in the Elaborations in 1998, Pluto will be true. The reason I said that, you got to understand, when you read the problem book, and I wrote the answers to the problem book, all of them. We got that on the website somewhere. In the Elaboration of the problem book, we go into that. Long story short, the European scientists, astronomers, look at Platoon or Pluto, 4,600 million miles away from the planet Earth, according to the Elijah Muhammad, now says arrived in 1974, as this little tiny planet. Masfar Muhammad, the 24 scientists, look at Platoon or Pluto as this big, huge planet. The scientists finally went out there and they found this belt, and they like, yo, Pluto got all these other broken up planets all around it. It's like a whole belt of planets. Like, it used to be a big planet. Somehow it broke up into a bunch of other planets. What's going on here? So they reclassified Platoon or Pluto, and now in 2025, white people, astronomers, not all of them, most of them say Pluto is no longer considered a planet. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad covers Pluto and now says arrived in 1974. He explained that Pluto or Platoon means a little fool, and it was discovered in 1930, the same year that the law came. The person Masfar Muhammad arrived in the wilderness of North America, teaching black people the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of themselves. You see? So we look at the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad in a mathematical, cosmological manner. We believe that Islam is mathematics and mathematics is Islam. We will continue with some more of these elaboration of Allah's lessons, inshallah Sakin, if it be the will of the God in person. You can help me help people by subscribing. I mean, support your brother in the struggle for peace, truth, freedom, justice, and equality. Don't get spooky. I mean, get out of that stuff. The black man is God. Assalamu alaikum. Peace to the gods. Peace to the goddesses. The struggle continues.